Like before I'm a DJ, I'm a scientist. I was always for pushing it forward. And what makes the laptop and the special vinyl to go with it, what makes it so special is I can take a large portion of my collection with me in a hard drive. If I had to take my crates, I'd have to take about a good 15, 20 people because it really pisses me off if there's somebody in the room that wants to hear this particular record and I don't have it, that really burns me up. So now,
you also have to spend a lot of money at the airport.
yeah.
Exactly. They charge you for a suitcase. You've been in trouble.
Yeah. The House of Hip Hop goes like this. Graffiti was already, people were already writing. DJ, breaker. I can tell you this, Ebro, until I invented this, there were no rappers. So we're talking years. Because they had no music bed to speak on. All the DJs at that time were not doing that. Or they were doing what I call disarray and unison style, where they would just play the record, and the next record would be sort of offbeat. It would be totally impossible for an MC, rapper, to speak on this. So we're talking years. So they entered the house last, the House of Hip Hop. And I want to say years. So you guys, with nothing, created something that is now a billion-dollar industry. You know, no PC, no Mac, no internet, no Twitter, no Facebook, no Instagram, no studios, no clubs, no technical, nothing. Just duplicate copies of records, 2 turntables, and a mixer, pretty much is where it started. Just want to let people know, however you are hip-hopping, it is absolutely lovely. I am not here to pass judgment on anybody on how they hip-hop. All I wanted people to really understand is that this thing had a beginning. Share the knowledge that this is how we hip-hopped back then. I'm not here to judge. I have no right to judge. I'm a human being just like you are. I just want people to know this is what we did.
People are continuing to innovate and create, and that's a blessing. And I'm just happy that people still debating what's real and what's fake and what's good and what's bad, and just care. I say that all the time. No matter how much I criticize an artist, I'm just care that people are passionate about it.
Absolutely. We all used to do our own talking. Herc, Bam, Flash, we did our own talking. I was trying to do my own talking as well, but the problem was I had to babysit the record. It's like this style of DJing takes constant watching. You can't just put the record on and just start talking. It's like Mike is passing me this record, I'm taking this one off, I'm putting this one on. So there was a real serious issue with me being able to talk. I figured it out now, but back then, so what I did was I said, I'm gonna go outside in the neighborhood park and I'm gonna show people this technique, and I'm gonna play all these great beats, and they're gonna be losing their mind, and they're gonna be partying, and I got the exact opposite. I never forget, I went home, I was crying. I'm like, 3 years, why is it I'm playing this drum beat from this one and this one from that? Why aren't they jamming? People were pushing past the ropes, Ebro trying to figure out if it was some sort of magic trick or something that I was doing. So I think for us, since we had no technical nothing, the search was just to find that drum beat, that breakdown, that drum solo. So we searched for the drum solo in pop, rock, jazz, blues, funk, disco, R&B, alternative. Anything where the drummer had a solo, that was actually the mission. And there was times I got up early in the morning, like 9 o'clock in the morning, and went record shopping and didn't get home until 10 o'clock at night, and had an arm full of records, just going through all these different genres of music, trying to find that break. I grew up extremely poor, and I always had a fascination with things that plugged into the wall. Is how I figured out that this thing done something. So what I would do, Ebro, was go into backyards where there was burned out cars, or where people was throwing away their stereo equipment, and I would bring it into the house. Or I would go to the stereo in the living room, take it apart, tried to put it back together, became public enemy #1 in my household. I was taking apart the hairdryer. I was taking apart the table radio. Like, I was on this quest to figure out, how is it that you could plug these tiny slits into that tiny little thing and put this, I called it this disc with the black tunnels, and how could you put the arm on it and sound come out of this box? So there was a constant quest on why these things do what they do. And I cannot tell you how many times I got my ass kicked. You know, my sisters were all older than me. I was getting beat downs and the whole thing. But when I figured out the peekaboo system, now it was a matter of me just getting duplicate copies of the records. You know, and I wanted to explain this decades and decades ago, but decades and decades ago, you know, if you was a geek, that wasn't cool. It's cool to be a geek today, you know, so power to the geeks. Geek Day. We're gonna do that.
Grandmaster Flash, I've known him about 20 years of my life at this point. Super nerd, and he's gonna show you all of the nerdy things that went into him studying and creating the thing we call hip hop. Mike, go ahead, sir.
Yes, I'd just like to add that for 3 years I lost my best friend because, like, you know, we was together every day, but when he went into this full geek mode, I would come to the house, Flash, we going to the park, you coming? I'll be right there. And he'll never show up. And that went on for like 3 years where he just turned into a hermit and he was in the house being involved with these turntables.
70s. I've been trying to tell journalists for a long time how important 70s music is. They looked at me like I had a third eye or horns on my head. But 70s songs like this made some people pretty rich. But wait. But if you slow it down, it sounds something like this. '70s music. It's the reason why it exploded like it did. And this one right here, one of the greatest hip-hop producers of our time. He did something real mean with this one. In my opinion, the incredible producers, Dre, Pete Rock, Timbaland, Scratch. Oh my goodness, there's so many. There's so many on my mind right now that I can't even think of it. Y'all know who you are. You guys took some of this music here and made it incredible, incredible, incredible hits. I love all you producers, man. Thank you.